Hello and welcome back to part 4 of the Julii Very Hard campaign. Last time we started the episode surrounded by Gauls around Patavium. Mediolanium was still under the control of the Gauls and we had not yet taken Juvavum, and we had another Gallic army over here near Segestica, but we were able to completely kick the Gauls out of northern Italy. We took Mediolanium, made peace with the Gauls, and then we picked up Juvavum because we had a Senate mission to do that. So now Quintus Julius is all done with his conquest of northern Italy, and we can move our attention elsewhere. Now we could keep trying to fight the Gauls, take Massilia, and then get up here to take Narbo Martius and keep trying to push back the Gauls. But a lot of these settlements are not worth very much in the early game. They're pretty small settlements. They don't have a lot of trade resources. So that wouldn't be the best use of our strength right now. What I really want to do is take out the Carthaginians in Carolus and Carthage. Now, my reason for that is not necessarily that I really want to be pushing into Northern Africa all that much, but Carthage is a really useful settlement. It's worth a lot of money. It's one of the biggest cities in the early game. And it is one of the most important strategic outposts for the Scipii. So if we allow the Scipii to eventually take Carthage and Carolus, then we will be at a huge disadvantage and we'll be basically unable to stop them from expanding. But if we can get these two settlements, we will hamstring the growth of the Scipii, and I really don't know where they will go if we get those two settlements. Maybe they will take some of these other tiny settlements in northern Africa, but they're kind of stuck on Sicily if we manage to take those two settlements. So that's what I'm going to work on this part, but I have to be a little bit careful because I don't want to overextend and leave myself too exposed if we get a counterattack from the Gauls. So that will be our primary military goal for this part. As far as our economic and development goals, we are trying to get Ariminum and Patavium up to their next level of city, which requires 6,000 population. We're almost there for Ariminum, and we're just a few turns behind that with Patavium. Similarly, a lot of our smaller settlements we're currently trying to grow as well. Segesta is about to be a large town. Segestica, we need to get up to 2,000 population, and same with Salona. And to that end, I never actually went through and changed over the religion in a couple of these settlements. So in Salona, we have this old Greek shrine to Athena, which only provides a 5% public order bonus due to happiness and law. So let's go ahead and destroy that, and we want to build a good old-fashioned Roman shrine to Ceres for that 0.5% population growth bonus. That'll help a little bit with growing Salona. And we will do the same thing in Segesta. We currently have a shrine to Isis, which also just provides a 5% public order bonus due to happiness and law. This is just the barbarian version. So let's go ahead and knock down that religious building. And we'll go ahead and build a shrine to Ceres there as well. We won't be able to do it until after this governor's villa is complete next turn. But that will help with the culture penalty of 25% and will help with the population growth rate as well. Finally, in Juvavum, we also have a shrine to Isis. So we'll go ahead and demolish that as well and build a shrine to Ceres there as well. Again, we have to wait for the wooden palisade to be complete, but we'll build that next turn and then we'll work on roads and some other infrastructure for starting to work on growth rate in Juvavum. In Spain, Sextus Ancio has almost found the Spanish. There we go, we found Osca, and let's see what we can get out of them. Hopefully at least trade rights and map information. Okay, they accepted that. We might have been able to get some money out of them, but that's okay. I just wanted to know what settlements they hold. And very interesting, it looks like the Spanish have kicked out the Carthaginians from Spain. They start the game with Cordoba, which is a pretty good settlement, all things considered, in the early game. But that means the Spanish are doing pretty well, and the Carthaginians are not doing very well. Especially once we take Carolus and potentially Carthage, the Carthaginians will have almost nothing left. They'll have like Palma and maybe one or two other settlements. But I'm glad we got trade rights with the Spanish. We'll probably set up a trade route soon between Arretium and Osca. So we'll start making some money from that pretty soon. Now, what do we do with this diplomat? I'm going to send this diplomat over to this part of the world just in case he ever needs to bribe any Gallic armies or anything like that, or make peace with them in the event that they do declare war on us again. And look at this huge Gallic army commanded by Windex. I wonder if he's about to besiege Osca. The Gauls are not yet at war with the Spanish, but I mean, that would be a pretty easy battle for Windex. So I would not be surprised if we saw Windex attack Osca soon. All right, let's go ahead and end this turn. Lugatorix has besieged Massilia, and we've been given a new Senate mission. take Aquincum. Oh my goodness. That is so out of the way. We would earn the Senate's gratitude, but I don't think we're going to do that. Aquincum is just so out of the way. It puts us right in the middle of these Dacian settlements, which means we'll be much more likely to be attacked by the Dacians. And I don't want to be fighting a war up here against Dacia. They're a really annoying enemy. And if you win the war by taking all their settlements, it's not worth that much. Their settlements aren't that good. And it just pushes you further and further out into this really unprofitable wasteland. So, I mean, there are some good mines that you can get in this area, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly from my Dacia campaign. But I don't think I'm going to be dedicating much of any strength to taking Aquincum. I might send one general out there to just see if he can take it, but I'm not super motivated to get that mission done. The Seleucids have announced an alliance with Parthia. Very good idea for them. When you're playing as the Seleucids, you have one of your major settlements over here, Seleucia, and it tends to be relatively safe from the Egyptians and the other enemies in this part of the world because it's just so far across this desert. And it also is one of the bigger cities that the Seleucids have. So it's important for their economy, but they tend to get attacked by the Parthians and lose that city. So that's a good alliance for them. There's no reason that they should be fighting the Parthians. We completed our governor's villa in Segesta, so we can go ahead and build that shrine to Ceres. And just like I was saying, we did establish a trade route between Osca and Arretium. So as soon as we finish with this shrine to Ceres, I honestly might build a port in Segesta so we can set up trade between Segesta and Osca. How much would that be worth? Ooh, several hundred denarii a turn. Let's actually jumpstart that. We'll do that before we get the shrine to Ceres, because that will be really helpful for economy. And in Arretium, how much trade income are we making from this port? It says only 38 from imports from Osca, but I'm surprised that we'll be making so much from Segesta. Maybe they'll be trading with people other than the Spanish. In Salona, we completed our shrine to Ceres, so we can go back to waiting for the population to grow when we eventually bring over some peasants to boost the population in Salona. And in Juvavum, we finished our wooden palisades, so we'll build a shrine to Ceres this turn. Let's keep marching Quintus Julius south. We want to get him over to this port, which is where we'll be building our fleet. And let's go ahead and start bringing Admiral Oppius around the Shoe of Italy. We want to get him all the way over to near Carthage so he can help out with the coming battle with the Carthaginians. And it will take 2 turns for Quintus Julius to get to this port, so we want our army to be ready by then. Let's go ahead and I'm kind of tempted to wait for this archery range to be complete so we can get more archers in case we need to fight any elephants. I always like having archers for elephants so that you can fire flaming arrows and make the elephants frenzy. So we might hold off one more turn on building troops in Ariminum and Arretium, and then once Quintus Julius gets a little closer, we will build some hastati in both of these cities, and then we will build some archers in Arretium, and then we'll go take either Carolus or Carthage. Oh, Carthage is under siege right now? Who's besieging Carthage? That's surprising because I know it's not the Scipii because we can see all of their units. Interesting. Is Carthage about to fall? That would be a crazy turn of events. Looks like the Scipii are bringing over a fleet right now with 10 units to take Carthage. So we might be too late on getting Carthage. We may need to go there first. I wonder who's besieging the city right now. Could it be the Spanish? Could they have just dropped off an army here? I don't know. If not them, the Numidians, maybe? If either of those factions take Carthage, or if Carthage successfully defends the city, I might try and beeline it there and snipe that city, because I really want Carthage for myself. I don't want the Scipii to get it. We have a new family member, Antonia. Welcome to the world. And let's take a look at our end of turn report. Profits of 4,200. We have a lot of money right now, 26,000 denarii. So we can buy basically whatever we want at this point. Now we have some peasants that we trained up in Segesta, and they're ready to be disbanded inside Ariminum. And that brings us over to 6,179 population in Ariminum. So we can go ahead and build that governor's palace. We'll build that after the communal farming is complete. And at this point, if we bring our population below 6,000, it doesn't matter. We still are going to get that upgrade. So we can start training hastati whenever we want. Now, as far as potentially taking Aquincum, it's not a bad final hurrah for Flavius Julius. I mean, he's only 55. I'm acting like this is an old man. But he did manage to take Mediolanium by himself. Maybe he could take Aquincum by himself too. I'll send him that way, and he can try. And if he fails, then he fails. But at least we can make an effort to accomplish what the Senate wants of us. And we'll see. I mean, there are only 3 units there. He does have like 95 heavy cavalry. So we may be able to keep them in our good graces for a little while longer. And Lugatorix has not yet built any siege equipment for Massilia, so that will hold out at least one more turn. But he's almost definitely going to win that battle. I'm really curious what's going to happen with Carthage. That's probably the most important city on the map right now. Honestly, with the knowledge that Carthage is under siege right now, we might not be able to wait for archers. I think we should start training Hastati now. Let's get 2 units of Hastati trained up in Ariminum and Rhetium, get a boat trained up and maybe 1 more unit of Hastati, and then just go. Okay, let's go ahead and end this turn. Looking out for what's going to happen in Carthage. Okay, Carthage is no longer under siege, which doesn't necessarily mean that the Carthaginians still own it. It could be another neutral faction. It could mean that the Numidians took it, but I feel like that would be very quick for them to take Carthage. So I'm assuming this is still under the control of the Carthaginians, and they successfully fought off whoever was besieging them. And it looks like the Scipii are actually diverting to take Carolus instead of Carthage. So that works out for me. Carthage is more important. I was at one point planning to take Carolus first, but if they spend a couple turns taking Carolus, that gives me enough time to potentially pick up Carthage. So I'm not opposed to that necessarily. Let's keep moving Quintus Julius towards his port, and we can reunite some Hastati with him. That's a decent sized army. Definitely not gonna walk right in and take Carthage with no difficulty, but it's workable. We might be able to win that battle. Maybe let's train up we'll train up a Byreme in Iridium because we will need it, and then at least 1 more Stati in Ariminum. I'm a little worried that we're gonna dedicate our entire army to taking Carthage and then just lose the battle. We have to try, because otherwise someone else is going to take Carthage and we will not get that chance back. In Ariminum, we completed our communal farming and we're working on our governor's palace. In Batavium, we completed the paved roads we were working on. So let's go ahead and build some sewers. We don't want to get a plague in Batavium since we have such a high population growth rate, and it will also increase our population growth rate by 0.5%. In Mediolanium, we completed communal farming, so we can go ahead and build a trader for the extra 0.5% population growth rate bonus there. In Juvavum, we completed our shrine to Ceres, so we'll build some roads. And let's take a look at our faction announcements. Decius Julius has come of age. Okay, he is not good. Gloomy for -1 morale, -1 influence. Confident in defense, +1 command when defending. Really? And what are we going to do with Decius Julius? We could use him as just heavy cavalry and send him with Quintus and hope that he improves. Ooh, you know what I should do actually, for now at least, is use him to take the slave trader that I meant to drop off in Batavium. And he's going to carry that up to Batavium. There's currently a general in Batavium, Aemilius Julius. We will give him that slave trader to increase the population growth rate in Batavium, and then we'll figure out what we want to do with Decius Julius. Who is this guy's father? Lucius Julius, one of our best. Kind of surprising that someone with 9 scrolls of management would father someone so bad. But I guess you can't pick your family. This is why we need to get academies in some of our cities, because we really need some better generals here. And let's take a look at our end of turn report. Profits of almost 5,000 denarii. Very good. Let's keep sending Flavius Julius up towards Aquincum. And ooh, he got ambushed by a rebel army. We could withdraw from the battle, but at this point, honestly, Flavius Julius is pretty tough. Let's try and fight this out. See if we can get a lucky break on one of these 2 units of warband and maybe just get rid of these rebels, because we really don't want them hanging out in our territory. They will cause ruin, which loses us money. They will hurt our public order, and they're just a nuisance. So let's go ahead and start this battle. It's not a true ambush where they like start on either side of you. It's a partial ambush. That's why we were able to flee the battle if we wanted to. But let's line up here, nice long line, and get a charge into this first unit of warband, the one that doesn't have the general or the commander in it. And they are using war cry, so we're just going to wait for 30 seconds because they have increased attack for 30 seconds after they use that. So there's no reason for us to charge in there and just take a bunch of damage. Now the general's unit is moving in front of the other unit. We don't want to charge the general's unit. We want to charge the unit that has a better chance of breaking. So let's just run away for a bit. They're charging now. Perfect. The weaker unit is charging in front. And their war cry is expired. So we will go ahead and charge them. I used rally troops to get my general safe. And let's get out of there. We want to charge one more time. How much damage did we do there? They're down to 220. Didn't do as much damage as I was hoping for. But we'll try again. See if we can get a better charge next time. They look kind of like they're running in a weird formation. So let's get a charge in real quick. Steady, shaken. Okay, they're not wavering. So, oh, they're broken. Perfect. See, this is what I was hoping for. This is why I kept fighting. And down to 90. Let's get out of there. We don't want to get caught in a fight with the full strength unit. We would like to circle around that unit that's charging after us and just clean up the unit that's fleeing. We're faster than them. We should be able to avoid them. Okay, keep going. Speed this up. Go clean up this unit that's fleeing. Perfect. Ride them all down. And we might want to leave a couple of fleeing infantry on the battlefield because it will provide a morale debuff to the remaining troops in the enemy army. We'll leave a couple of them. Clean up a few more. Okay, that's good. Now, turn. Are we winded? Yeah, we're winded. So let's stop and rest for a second. The enemy will charge after us for a bit. They're just going to get more and more tired. But we're winded, so we don't want to engage right now. We want to be fully rested when we fight them. So go off into the distance. How are we going to get away from them? Just run all the way to the corner of the map. It will make us tired, but we will build some distance between us and them. And by the time they get to us, they will be exhausted because they're just going to charge after us. So get to the corner of the map and then stop and rest. Down to warmed up. And they're not sprinting towards us, they're just walking, which is smart, so they're not going to be exhausted. But we are fresh, so we'll let them get a little closer and then we'll get a charge in. And I mean, we might not be able to beat them. Since they have a commander in their unit, we just might not have enough strength to beat this unit, so we might have to disengage. But we've taken out half the enemy army, so there's a chance here. Let them get a little closer. And then charge. Let's slow this down. Rally troops, charge. They didn't use war cry, so that's good. Okay, they didn't break. Oh, they're wavering. No, they're shaking. Okay, get out of there. We'll get another charge on. That was a really good charge, though. They're down to 164. I'm sure if we charge again, we will probably break them and win the battle. So get out of there. Let our rally troops reset so we don't accidentally kill our general. Okay, it has reset. And charge in one more time. This should hopefully end the battle. They're not going to use war cry, hopefully. They're exhausted. That's probably why they went down in morale so easily. Charge in, rally troops, and broken. Continue the battle, just wrap them all up. That's free experience for my general's bodyguard. So just finish them off. And that's this army off the map. There we go, and you got another chevron of experience. It might dilute away when we regenerate the rest of these bodyguards next turn. At least for now, we have 2 chevrons of experience. And we got superior commander for Flavius Julius because that was a pretty close battle. And a military tribune +1 command when defending improves the chances of getting elected to senatorial offices and 10% bonus to your popularity with the Senate. That's a very good retinue. All this reckless battling by himself is making him pretty good, honestly. We probably should have sent him to Carthage. It's just I don't want an older general being in charge of a conquest like that, because what if he just dies of old age and then you just don't have a general? So yeah, keep moving towards Aquincum. I now feel pretty confident we'll be able to take Aquincum with just him, unless he gets unlucky and dies. And I could send some war dogs with Quintus Julius. I don't know that that would be useful, but I don't know that it won't be useful either. No, let's save our war dogs for the defense of Italy. We will bring some war dogs over to Mediolanium, and then we'll build some more and we'll send them over to Segesta. Just get some in each of these cities, just in case we need them for defense. This is how I'm able to keep almost no garrison in Italy. Just very cheap units defending these cities. They can all kind of pool together strength and use all the generals in these different cities if one of them gets attacked by a small army. All right, let's go ahead and end this turn. Dacia is talking to us. Looks like they were just trying to bribe us, but they were not successful. And Admiral Julianus has been born in the docks of Arretium. Let's go ahead and get our armies onto that fleet. We can't quite reach this fleet this turn with my Hastati from Ariminum, but we'll get them there next turn and then start making our way towards Carthage. The Scipii are about to besiege Carolus. They didn't do it this turn, which I'm not sure why. They were sitting right here, so they could easily have besieged Carolus, but they chose not to. We completed our port in Segesta, and now we can see what we are trading. Oh, so the majority of the income from trade at Segesta is actually trading with Rome. 244 income from that. That's not bad. Let's go ahead and build a shrine to Ceres in Segesta. We want to get the population growth rate up, and at some point we'll continue investing in market and some, there's a lot of good buildings to purchase now that we're up to a large town. In Juvavum, we finished our roads, so let's go ahead and build a land clearance. Now that we have roads, I'm less concerned if someone comes to attack Juvavum, because we can always just muster an army and march it up that road, and we could get there relatively quickly. Flavius Julius is almost to Aquincum. Honestly, I don't want to take it too quickly because we still have 8 turns to complete this Senate mission. And as soon as we finish this mission, we're going to get another one, which we similarly might be unprepared to actually do. So we might hold off for a little while before we actually take Aquincum, but we'll besiege it next turn. We have a new family member, Herennius Julius. And there has been an eruption at Etna. The god Vulcan has destroyed the Greek town of Naxos by causing Mount Etna to erupt. Thousands have died beneath the fiery lava. So, bad day for our friends the Scipii. Let's take a look at our end of turn report. Another profitable turn, 3,800 profit. And let's go ahead and build a second bireme in Arretium. Admiral Appius is almost ready to reunite with Admiral Julianus and escort our relatively large army down to Carthage, but just a couple turns away. Hopefully there aren't any large rebel fleets in this area. The Gauls have taken Massilia. Lugatorix finally doing something productive, and he is always really good. Spartan, intelligent, faction heir, firm personal morality. He's a really good general. I don't love that Windex has made his way from Spain over close to Massilia, because that means he's heading towards us. So I don't love that. Hopefully he just goes up here and takes Lugdunum. But if he keeps going this way, I'm going to be very concerned because we do not have enough troops in northern Italy to fight off an army that big. Yeah, that's scary. That's like 2,000 troops. On the bright side, we do have a lot of money right now, so we can train up an army if we need to. But I would like to hold on to that money, so I would like to not have to defend myself if possible. Let's go ahead and end this turn. The Gauls are talking to us at Patavium, just trying to bribe us. Same with the Dacians. Oh, the Dacians are actually offering us trade rights in exchange for 220 denarii. Let's do trade rights in exchange for map information Perfect. They accepted that. And, ooh, looks like we have a flash flood in Macedonia. So I don't know why we're getting notified of that. That does not affect us. I guess because we don't even border Macedonia. So I don't know what that's about. Ooh, they're about to take Thessalonica with this huge army. I don't know why they don't have a general, but they're still probably going to take Thessalonica right now. And oh, it looks like they've already taken Larissa. They've probably taken Corinth. The Greeks are doing really well in this game. And somehow the Brutii are still not at war with them. Numidia has just announced an alliance with Egypt, and that second bireme is done in Arretium. And I just noticed that we are also able to train Roman archers in Arretium. I'm so excited for that. Let's go ahead and bring Captain Luca down to join up with Admiral Julianus and his 2 biremes. And let's start making our way towards Carthage. We just got a visual on Carthage, and we can confirm that it is still under the control of the Carthaginians, so they fought off whoever was trying to besiege them. And there's not currently any fleet nearby that is about to take Carthage, so that's good news for me. It means I have a couple turns to get there and take Carthage. And it's honestly good that the Scipii are attacking Carolus because it kind of divides the attention of the Carthaginians. My guess is that their next move is to bring Admiral Aulus over to pick up Captain Placus and Captain Amulius and take these armies and try and take Carthage, but I should be able to beat them since I already have an army on a fleet. Let's go here. Okay, I'm glad there were no rebel fleets there. Oh, we have a couple more move points actually. So move to there. And I mean, honestly, next turn we might be able to reach Carthage. Yeah, that's perfect. If we can do that, then we don't have to worry about our reinforcing fleet. But we will still bring them in. We're still going to need them because there are Carthaginian ships in the area. But it looks like we should be able to take Carthage. Oh, they have elephants here and a stone wall. Carthage, I think, starts the game with a stone wall, which is crazy because I just unlocked a stone wall with Arretium by getting them to 6,000 population. So yeah, I really want Carthage. It's a really good city. I hope I'm able to take it. Let's get training some archers in Arretium because we want to get archers involved in the defense of Italy and also the potential extended conflict with Carthage if we're not successful at taking Carthage the first time. Take a look at our construction report. Of course, we completed our archery range in Arretium, and now we have options. We could go ahead and build a wooden wall and then a stone wall. We could build a legion barracks so we can start building principes. Now that we have an archery range here, let's build a wooden wall and then a stone wall because that's when archers become really useful, is putting them on top of walls. So we want to get up to a stone wall as soon as possible. At Segesta, we completed our shrine to Ceres, and I'm curious how much money we would make from upgrading our trader to a market. Let's see. That would only increase trade by 29, so we're not going to do that. We'll just keep investing in population growth rate. We'll get Temple of Ceres next, and then communal farming and sewers. In Patavium, we completed our sewers, and Patavium just reached 6,000 population, which means we can build a governor's palace and get up to a minor city. I'm so excited for that. Patavium is quickly becoming our biggest and best city. So we just need to get through buying all of these upgrades, and this is going to be a really powerful city very soon. And as soon as we finish this governor's palace, the culture penalty of 35% will disappear, almost all of it, because we'll transform the whole city. In fact, let me go ahead and show you the city that it currently is. So currently this is Patavium. It is a Roman city. You can tell because there are a couple of Romans walking around in togas and, dudes walking around in Julii uniforms. But it is also a barbarian city because we haven't yet transformed it. But once we build the next level of city, once we complete the governor's palace and we get a minor city, then this will be a Roman city. All these buildings, these little houses will become Roman houses, and that's when you get rid of most of the culture penalty. So I'm very excited for that. I think we lost our last 2 announcements, unfortunately, so we will have to fill in our own financial report. We profited 4,000 denarii this turn. And there was another building that we needed to build things in. Yes, Mediolanium. I think we completed the Trader or Temple of Ceres level 2. I'm not sure what we completed this turn because we lost that notification when we went into the city view. Let's build sewers in Mediolanium. That will get the population growth rate going up. At this point, it doesn't matter that much because we only have 1,100 population here, but we will soon have a lot of population. Oh, and I just realized I accidentally took Decius Julius and his slave trader on the expedition to Carthage. I meant to leave him behind. That's a mistake. That's a shame. Do we have any slave traders with any of these other generals. I thought we had one at least. No, that's a shame. Yeah, that was our only slave trader. I mean, we might bring him back and try and take advantage of the higher population growth rate in Patavium and Mediolanium from having access to slaves. But, ooh, these slaves will only be here for another 6 turns. So unfortunately, we may just have lost out on the extra population growth rate we could have gotten from having slave trader in Patavium. But, I mean, we still have an 8.5% population growth rate. Could be worse, could be worse. Let's go ahead and have Flavius Julius besiege Aquincum, but not take it. There are just some Illyrians here. We could probably win this battle. We could definitely buy some Illyrians and win this battle. But we'll hold off for a couple turns, let them starve out a little bit, and we just want to kill some time so we're not bombarded with back-to-back Senate missions. But in a couple turns, we'll take Aquincum. We might honestly buy these mercenaries and just leave them here to hold on to Aquincum. We'll probably pay for their upkeep just by owning this city. I mean, I am nervous about being close to the Dacians, but it's not the end of the world. It would be nice to have another settlement up here, I guess. Since the Senate's making us do it, we may as well hold on to it. We'll go ahead and buy these Illyrians now. It's a little bit expensive, but guarantees that we'll win this battle when the time comes. And let's go ahead and end this turn. Looks like, I think the Scipii still have not taken Carolus. Yeah. Do they have siege equipment? Yes, they do. 2 rams, so they should take Carolus next turn. Yeah, town militia is a horrible unit, so that should be no problem for the Scipii. Let's bring Admiral Oppius over here, make sure that there aren't any fleets blocking the route for Admiral Julianus, and we can go ahead and drop off our army right here outside of Carthage. So we could besiege Carthage right now. Let's send Decius Julius back on this fleet, and we will bring him up to here. Drop him off, he can go up to Patavium and transfer off his slave trader, and then this gives us a few turns to build Roman archers in Arretium that we can send back on this fleet, and they can be useful for this siege of Carthage. Now, do we want to go ahead and besiege Carthage right now? I don't see a reason why we should. We'll wait one more turn, because I don't think the Scipii could besiege Carthage in 1 turn. Maybe they could though, and that would be a shame. Okay, we will go ahead and besiege Carthage. Yes, we are declaring war against the Carthaginians. Perfect, we have to wait a turn anyways. So we'll do that next turn, and hopefully, best case scenario, Captain Placus brings this massive army and comes over here and helps us out with the siege of Carthage. As long as I'm the one besieging the city, I can have my allies help out with the battle. That's no problem. We'll see what ends up actually happening. Let's go ahead and... well, we'll hold off on attacking this fleet for now. Honestly, yeah, we'll just unite all of our biremes into 1 fleet. We won't need to bring Quintus Julius away from Carthage anytime soon. He's gonna fight and die here. If he's not gonna fight and win, he's gonna fight and die here. So we may as well have 1 strong fleet moving around if we're going to be carrying archers and generals back and forth. And Scythia and Armenia are at war. We completed our governor's palace in Ariminum, so that's finally a minor city. What do we want to build here? I would like to get a level 2 blacksmith, the armorer, but we need to get a market first, because that gives us +1 missile weapons and +1 armor, which would be really useful. So let's build a market in Ariminum so that we can eventually build a armorer there. You want to have at least 1 city in the economic center of your empire that has a really high level blacksmith, because you can just bring your troops through that 1 city and retrain them whenever you want. You don't really need all of your cities to have like an armor, but having 1 city have an armor is really useful. End of turn report. We only profited 799 denarii that turn, probably because we're buying a bunch of mercenaries and spending a bunch of money, but that is why we have money, is so that we can spend it. So that's not a bad thing. Now, where did that Gallic general go? Windex. Hopefully not up this way. That's all I care about, that he didn't go this way. No, he didn't go this way. Maybe up here? Did he go up? I think he might have gone up and taken Lugdunum. We need to find him, because I want to keep an eye out. I don't want to be surprised by Windex showing up. Let's go ahead and have Manius Julius go up here and leave a watchtower. Okay, so there is a Gallic army right here. Doesn't have a general, but it has a lot of units. So I'm glad we did that. Let's bring some archers over to Segesta so it's not empty, so they don't riot on us. And let's start moving troops around. Bring these war dogs over to Medulanium, as that is the city that is most in the line of fire. And let's keep training some units. So Patavium is now good on population. Let's build some Equites here. They're not the best unit. They're very light cavalry, but they're easy to move around. So if we need to move them between city and city, it's useful to have some Equites. In Ariminum, we'll build a unit of Hastati, and in Arretium, we're building some archers. So we have a couple of units that are being trained right now. We will have some strength in this part of the world. We can probably fight off Captain Dumnorix relatively easily. Let's go ahead and end this turn. I am anxious to get my battle started with Carthage. Whew. This is not what I wanted. We're being attacked by Captain Dumnorix already, and for some reason... Oh, we can't withdraw because we don't have any movement points remaining. I didn't think about that. Oh my goodness, this is a scary army. Yeah, Manius Julius might be dying here, but I have kind of a trick, which is if he fights this battle, he's dying for sure. I mean, let me see if is there any weakness? I mean, there's just not really any chance of breaking this many units. We struggle with 95 to take out 2 units of Warband. This is 3 units of Warband with 2 Chevrons of Experience and extra mercenaries and druids to help with morale and cavalry. So there's no way we actually win this battle. But we can enter this battle and then just flee or just end the battle. And I don't think that he will die. I think he will just take some damage. Where are the barbarian mercenaries? On that flank. We'll gander at attacking the weakest unit on the army. It's not going to work, as I just established, but we'll try it. I mean, why not try? At least get one charge and see if they just happen to break. I mean, they did just use Warcry, but just try it out. All right, just see. One charge. These guys tend to have really bad morale. Not this time, though. No, they know that they outnumber us like 14-1. And this is actually what I was about to do, is flee the battle. So kind of good for him to just break and flee. Hopefully he survives this. So he's going to flee the battle. He has no move points, though, so I don't know if he just disbands at this point. No, he did withdraw. See, that's all I wanted, just for him to escape the battle. Ah, okay. And we have a suitable husband for Fadia once again. Again, he's not that good. Confident commander. He's 21. But at this point, I kind of need heavy cavalry in Italy. So I'm going to accept him. He's not that bad. He's 21. He has no negative traits. Confident commander is a good start. We'll take him. Just because we kind of need heavy cavalry right now. So Luca Ostorius will go join up with Manius Julius, and we're going to have to put together a bit of an army to take out Captain Dumnorix here. Let's get these units of war dogs, this unit of archers, and this unit of archers and Luca Ostorius. Bring them over to Segesta, and then I will bring them up to join up with Manius Julius next turn. If he attacks us this turn, we'll hold a defense on this bridge, which honestly, don't underestimate me on a bridge. Even if I'm this outnumbered. We have a much worse army than them, but with this many dogs and some archers, a bridge defense is possible. Let's get some cavalry and mercenaries as well. We will swap out the barbarian mercenaries in this army for the barbarian cavalry mercenaries in Medulanium. And yeah, I can imagine a defense of this bridge here with dogs, with 2 units of cavalry to charge down the fleeing troops, with archers to provide a morale debuff. I can imagine a defense of this bridge. Hopefully they don't go straight to Medulanium and besiege it. But I don't think they can get past Manius Julius because of his hitbox here. So this is a good spot to camp out for now. Now, where is Windex with his huge army? I'm going to camp out right here with this diplomat in case Windex passes through here. And let's bring my spy. I mean, where should my spy go? Here, maybe? Is that Windex? No. Windex isn't there. Or here. I'm nervous that he went up around this way. So we're going to have to find Windex. Definitely keep training Roman archers at Arretium. And at Ariminum, we want to keep training Hastati. Let's bring our Hastati over to this bridge. No, we'll just bring them to right here in this forest. We want them to get to Manius Julius next turn. In Batavium, we have some Equites that can join up with Manius Julius, and we will train another unit of Equites this turn. Spending a lot of money, but it's important. It's for the defense of Italy. This is what we've spent the last 3 parts building up, so we don't want to just start losing these cities back to the Gauls, just because we're also focusing on Carthage right now. In the midst of all of this, congratulations to Lucca and Fadia. We are at war with the Gauls, we know that. We completed our wooden wall in Arretium. Let's go straight to a stone wall here, just in case we do end up getting attacked by more troops. We want to have at least 1 stone wall here. Honestly, we want to have stone walls in all of these cities as soon as possible, because a Roman archer on top of a stone wall is worth like 10 units. In Segesta, we completed our Temple of Ceres level 2, and what do we want to build next? We still need to focus on population growth rate. We're not really going to be training troops up in Segesta, but let's build a wooden wall here. Now, there's no point in getting a wooden wall level 2 without the ability to build a stone wall. It's just not really worth it. So let's build paved roads. We just want quick movement between all of these cities as much as possible right now, because we're not going to have more than 1 army in this part of the world, so we need mobility. I usually don't invest in paved roads so early, but it's going to be worth it. In Mediolanium, we completed our sewers, and we're going to build paved roads there as well. Just paved roads everywhere. We want to be able to move through all of these settlements as easily as possible. Egypt has become the largest faction, so I wonder if they're attacking the Seleucids right now, and that's why they're gaining territory. Let's see. Yes, they are attacking the Seleucids. Looks like the only faction they're attacking are the Seleucids, so they're probably just carving out all of the really nice settlements like Antioch in this part of the world, and they're beating the Seleucids back. They almost always do. And I don't know why exactly, but we've gained a bunch of popularity with the masses and the Senate. So that's good. They said because of my achievements. Let's see. Let's look at the Senate floor. Oh, wow. The Senate really likes me right now. I almost never see it this high on very hard, very hard. 7 out of 10 is pretty good. 4 out of 10 for the people. That's about right. That's what I usually see. But that's a pretty good start. If I keep getting these missions done and I keep attacking the enemies of Rome, I might actually see some positive benefit from being liked by the Senate and the people. Take a look at our end of turn report. Still profiting. Even though we're spending a lot of money, still profiting. 4,000 profit this turn. That's good. And a German spy has been discovered and executed in Yuvavum. So the Germans are starting to eye out Yuvavum as a potential target, which I'm not surprised by. I said that would happen, but I mean, I'm not going to commit more troops to Yuvavum. It's just not worth that much. If they want to go take it, they can. Hopefully they don't, but there's not much I can do to protect it if they really want it. Flavius Julius is still besieging Aquincum. We're going to just let that happen. Next turn, they will either surrender or they will have to sally out and fight us. So we'll have the advantage because they'll have to march off the city center and fight us out in the field, which, I mean, we have 98 heavy cavalry and we outnumber them with literally the same unit that they have. So that'll be an easy battle. We'll just let that happen. And the Scipii, in true AI fashion, have loaded up a almost full stack army onto a single bireme. And they're just hanging out here. They're not even going directly to Carthage, so I don't know what they're doing right now. This is what they do, though. They don't realize that they are in danger. A rebel fleet could come sink this ship, and they would lose a full stack army. But that's just what they like doing. And who am I to complain? In my Spanish campaign, that is how I survived. By just sinking these fleets that had full stack armies on them. I did that like 5 or 6 different times. So, hey, if my allies want to completely hamstring their progress by losing a full stack army because they don't want to defend it, I will not complain. Looks like they're being invaded somewhat by the Greeks. They're not at war with the Greeks currently, but I mean, clearly the Greeks are eyeing taking Syracuse back. They don't have a great army here, but neither do the Scipii, honestly. They're kind of split up between these 3 different cities and also this huge army on this fleet. Still, what I hope happens here is that the Scipii come and help me out with the Carthaginians, because I'm now looking kind of outnumbered here. They've got 1 army here that I know has some elephants, and what's this other army? Oh, this is the one with elephants. Hasdrubal. Yikes. I mean, peasants, they're bad. Skirmishers, they're not good, but elephants and heavy cavalry can win almost any battle. I might hold off on besieging Carthage just because, I mean, I don't know if I would win that battle right now. Maybe I'll wait until we have a few more archers in this army. We'll buy these Numidian mercenaries because they're pretty useful, and let's just hang out here for now. If they want to attack us, they can, but I'm not going to lose my entire army here just because I'm impatient. If I think the Scipii are going to come steal Carthage from me, that's one thing. But as of right now, we'll just wait at least one more turn. Julianus can continue marching up towards Italy. We're probably not going to be able to send archers back immediately with Julianus, but we at least want to get this general back into this part of the world to up the population growth rate in Batavium. All right, let's go ahead and end this turn. I'm very curious if Dumnorix will attack Manius Julius at this river crossing. No. Oh, yes, he is. Okay, I still have to be careful. I don't have a lot of good infantry, which means I can still suffer a break. But their morale is going to be bad in this battle because I'm going to block up that bridge with war dogs and shoot a bunch of flaming arrows at them. And I don't know if they're going to be able to survive that. But we still have to be careful. We are outnumbered. This army strength ratio is 1-to-1. Let's try to win this. Let's get the lay of the land here. We want to know if there's a river crossing. Not on this side. On this side? No. No river crossings. So we're just dealing with this main bridge. Bridge battles, I love defending bridges. If you've seen my campaigns before, you know how effective you can be at defending a bridge. All you need is a unit to block this entrance and some missile troops to fire into the side. And they start panicking on this bridge. They get one break and then the whole army breaks and then you just run them down with cavalry. In this case, we don't have a great unit to defend the actual bridge crossing. We have these barbarian mercenaries, attack of 7, defense of 10, it's okay, but they have really bad morale. So if they break, I don't know that we can win this necessarily. But let's get our 3 units of war dogs as close as possible. We're going to send the dogs across the bridge too, but there's a question of timing because if we send them too early, they will cross the bridge and get killed over here. We want them to charge onto the bridge as the Gauls are entering the bridge so that the fighting happens on the bridge where they're in range of my archers, who will be here, and we're going to get them up to right here. They're going to be covered by the barbarian mercenaries, and they're going to be shooting onto the bridge. Now, the enemy warband will have their shields on their left side, which is on my right side. So their shields will be facing this way. So my archers should be on my left. So we're shooting at the part of the unit that is not covered by shields. So like from their side, they're going to be getting shot on this side, which will mean they will take more damage. So we will keep our archers on this side. Disable skirmish mode. We don't want that to accidentally get triggered. And general's going to need to stay nearby to provide morale bonus to this mercenary unit. Our cavalry, we will have right behind our mercenaries, just providing a morale bonus from being surrounded by friendlies. And in the event that we do break all the enemies, we want to send the cavalry across the bridge so they can chase down anyone that's fleeing. So let's go ahead and start this battle. And first things first, block up the bridge with our barbarian mercenaries, get our archers over here, and get our dogs in position. Hurry up. Next up, we want our cavalry to get here, and our general's unit to get here. Okay, now enable fire at will with the flaming arrows and release the dogs to this warband. And go ahead and use war cry. Okay, the dogs are jamming up this warband. They've broken already. Perfect. The dogs are going to eat through this first unit like it's no problem. They're not even going to take any damage here, because they're just going to eat through this unit. And my warband doesn't really know exactly what to do, but we're getting breaks, so this is perfect. The dogs are just going to keep on fighting. Keep firing at different units that don't have breaks already. And at this point, since most of the enemy army has broken, send the cavalry in. And, I mean, we'll send in the warband as well. Yeah, this is exactly what we wanted. We don't want the handlers getting involved. We don't want to lose any of them. So I'm going to tell them to flee. And yeah, basically, this is the best case scenario. Whole army is broken. Run them down. I mean, the war dogs will handle this. We don't even need to get the infantry involved. But yeah, we're going to watch this whole army get just eaten by dogs. Stop firing now. Enemy general's dead. Boom. The whole army's dead. Did we take any casualties? Looks like a bunch of our mercenaries might have gotten pushed into the river because we took a bunch of casualties at the end there. Yeah, they got pushed into the river. But we killed 1,100 of them and we lost 25. That's crazy. This is why we love bridge battles. And just like that, we've completely turned the tide. I was thinking I wasn't going to be able to spare any archers for Carthage. Now I definitely can. And wow, back to back, we have another battle. Okay, Captain Ion inside of Aquincum is sallying out. They were going to starve this turn, so it makes sense why they want to fight. Flavius Julius, 99 heavy cavalry and 3 units of missile troops. So this should be an easy win. It's just a question of how we want to do it. We can either try and skirmish with our skirmishers or just try and get a charge in with our cavalry. Let's skirmish a little bit because we have more troops than they do. So let's see. You two drop here. We want to skirmish with one of their units if possible. 2 on 1. This unit can drop here. And then we'll drop our cavalry over here so that once the enemy takes some casualties, we can get in there and charge with the cavalry and they should break. So we're in range with one of our units. They're throwing in some javelins. The enemy have not yet started firing, so we're getting a lot of damage in on them while they just reposition. Keep firing. Almost in range with this unit. Should be... What are y'all doing? Oh. Skirmishing. Don't skirmish. We don't want you to skirmish. Just fire all of your missiles. Okay, now they're also firing back, so we're taking some casualties. We've killed 20% of the enemy. How's the morale doing? It's okay. Let's go ahead and charge into this unit. I think we can cause a break and just finish this battle. Wavering. Can we get a break? Not quite. Let's all charge in. We want them to feel encircled. They should go from shaken to broken pretty quickly here. We have 1 break, 2 breaks. That's it. The whole army is broken. Let's run down as many as we can with this general's unit just so we can get a little more experience. Enemy commander is dead. Yeah, if we can get to 3 chevrons of experience, that would be ideal. Come on. Nope, doesn't look like it. Let's end the battle. We don't want them to reform and take any more casualties. Boom. Easy win, 31 casualties. We'll go ahead and enslave Aquincum. And we have a new Senate mission to take Bilazora. That's not going to happen, as they are being besieged by the Thracians. Ooh. Are the Macedonians about to get kicked out of the game? Thessalonica is under siege from the Greeks. And 2 huge armies of the Thracians are besieging Bilazora. This is honestly a good mission for us to be assigned because we're not going to have to do it. Once Bilazora falls to the Thracians, then the mission will get canceled with no penalty. So hopefully they just take Bilazora and then I don't have to finish that mission and then we can just do the next one. Oh, Hylas Brutus is so upset. He's still making his way back past Salona. He didn't end up doing anything up here. He just hung out and then left. The Brutii still have 3 settlements. They've only taken Apollonia. That's embarrassing. Come on, guys. Get in the game a little bit. All right, and in Aquincum, we'll go ahead and build a wooden palisade. And let's leave behind... Do we want to leave behind all of these Illyrians? Let's see if we pay for them with the income from this city. 578? Yeah, I mean, it pays enough that we can just leave these 3 units of Illyrians. We'll leave them here the whole game, and they will just be the garrison for the city to hopefully discourage anyone from attacking them. We'll send Flavius Julius back to Italy, and I mean, honestly, he might want to drop a few watchtowers actually in the meantime. We'll go drop a few watchtowers, and then he will go back to Italy, and we'll just let Aquincum and Juvavum be up here and at risk, and if we lose them, it's not a big deal. Okay, now that we successfully took out that Gallic army, We don't know where Windex is. We can bring some of these troops to help with Carthage. So, I mean, do we want to get rid of this rebel army? Kind of. I kind of do. While we have armies here, we might want to get rid of this rebel army. Okay, let's send Captain Tiberius down to Iridium. We'll send these Hastati over and these archers. So we at least have some strength that we will send over with Julianus to go to Carthage. Let's drop off Decius Julius and send him up to Patavium so we can drop off that slave trader that he's been holding on to. Next turn, we'll get 4 more units onto this fleet and kind of want to bring even more troops, like these cavalry maybe. Let's send these cavalry around and they will go and join Admiral Julianus next turn. Can these archers make it? I think these archers can just barely make it next turn. So they're going to try and also get on this fleet. Manius Julius will try and deal with this rebel general here with just these war dogs and these mercenaries. For now, let's go through our announcements. Germania and Gaul are allies. That's bad. The Germans now border me with a really weak settlement of mine. They're allied with my biggest enemy. They've been spying on me. I think we know what's coming soon. I'm prepared. I mean, I'm not actually prepared, but I am expecting the Germans to invade soon. We have some more Equites in Patavium as well, which we will send over to help out with the Carthaginians. We have a lot of troops actually going to Carthage, so we should be good for taking Carthage. Ooh, an interesting choice out of the Scipii. It looks like they're going to Thapsus. That is an interesting choice because it gives them a foothold in Northern Africa. It's nowhere near as useful as Carthage. It's a much smaller town. It's got it's got some like olive oil and stuff, but it's not a very good city. But it means they get a foothold here, and they got Carolus. So the Scipii are doing okay. I get Carthage though, which is what matters. So, I mean, I don't want to besiege Carthage just yet because this fleet could change its mind and defend Carthage, and I might lose that battle. So we're gonna hold off for one more turn, just leave Quintus Julius here, see if we can get some reinforcements. And then I should be able to take Carthage, which will be a thorn in the side of the Scipii for the rest of the game. I'm in the middle of their territory. It's a huge city. It's worth a ton of money. A lot of trade coming in and out of Carthage. So I will be happy if I get Carthage. We completed our governor's palace in Patavium, so that is now a minor city, and we can go ahead and build a stone wall here. That's very exciting. Manius Julius got confident commander after his victory against the Gauls. Good for him. He's getting a little bit better. He's got a couple of responsible traits now. He's not just a filthy-minded liar. And we have taken back largest faction from the Egyptians. There we go. Take a look at our end of turn report. We lost some money that turn, 1,800 denarii. That's not the end of the world. We're still doing well financially. And we did finish that Senate mission by taking Aquincum. The Senate has noted our efforts and is most grateful. Let's see if it moved the needle on our popularity. No, it didn't. That's okay. We really don't need to be that popular. I still want to find Windex, so let's send our spy north. I feel like he's up here somewhere. So go up here next turn. And we're going to leave our diplomat here. I'm curious if I could bribe Massilia. No, because Lugatorix is here and he's a faction heir and he's unbribable. What about a ceasefire? Would they be interested in that? I really have no reason to be at war with them. No, they don't want a ceasefire. We'll just keep our diplomat here, keep an eye out for any armies passing through this mountain pass. And should we go ahead and take out Cocolatanus of Isara, this rebel general? Let's try it. It's going to be kind of difficult if he's any good. He's not very good. He has 1 command in this battle. He would have 3 if he was the one attacking, but he doesn't. Yeah, I mean, this will be good for Manius Julius. Luca is also getting involved in this battle. He's pretty good. Competent commander, yeah. He's at least got some heavy cavalry. He'll be useful. But the war dogs are going to do the majority of the fighting in this battle. So let's do it. I'm planning to kind of pin the enemy army with war dogs and then charge with cavalry into the flanks. That's the current plan. We're going to back up a little bit because we don't want to be fighting uphill too much, and we want to give time for our reinforcements to enter the battlefield. So let's put our warband right here and order our reinforcements to join us up here. And we're just going to wait. Triple game speed. Let's just wait. Okay, he's entered the battlefield. Go on and join up with the rest of the army. And let's see where the enemy are actually located. Top of this hill. Oh, they're in a good position. If they had any missile troops, this would be scary. But they have heavy cavalry, and you do get a charge bonus when you go downhill with heavy cavalry. So it's still a really good position for them to be hanging out in. Are they going to potentially come off of that hill if I do the little circle thing? Let's see. Let's move up to like here. And try and do the thing where they line up with us and they come off the hill. I'm watching for them to show any sign of charging me, but they probably won't. They probably don't want to have this fight, so they're not going to be eager to charge in and actually start the fighting. Which gives us time to climb up this hill and hopefully push them off of the hill, or at least have even ground with them. Alright, my infantry is tired, so we're going to let them rest for a bit. Once they get back to fresh, we'll continue doing this, just in case we have to fight. Alright, they're down to fresh, so we can continue now trying to get a better position. Run up to here. And they are no longer really on the high ground. A little bit closer, and we might even have higher ground than them. That would be ideal. We don't have any missile troops, but we do have heavy cavalry. Come on. All right, they want to fight. So go ahead and use War Cry with my infantry. Let's commit our dogs, 1 to each unit. And let's get our heavy cavalry out on the flanks. We will also commit our mercenaries to this left flank. We want to cause a break, so we're having the dogs pin the 3 different units separately. We just don't want them to be able to move. We want them to start taking casualties and to start losing morale. Okay, so get behind this unit here. They're pinned. They're being attacked by infantry. So they're wavering. Charge into the side. They're broken. Perfect. This is how we win. Go ahead and charge in on this side with my other general. We have a break of our war dog handlers. Can we break another unit here? I mean, I don't want to be losing these war dog handlers. Come on, guys, get out of there. Yeah, oh, this is not good for our war dog handlers. We don't want to lose them. They're actually pretty valuable. But we've broken several of their units. We're going to run them down. Let's try and attack this general with our barbarian mercenaries and our heavy cavalry. So break this unit of warband. That's the last unit of warband. It's just the enemy general now. We have 2 generals units. Oh man, they're smart. They're going for my war dog handlers. Come on. Use war cry with my mercenaries. And we want to pin them with the mercenaries and then encircle them with heavy cavalry. Come on. Don't run down on my handlers. That's mean. They're smart. I'll give them that. Come on. Get on either side. There we go. Okay, perfect. Oh, are they really going to avoid us? No, okay. So get behind them here. We're going to rally troops because this unit of mercenaries is shaken. They have horrible morale, even though we're winning this easily. And let's charge into the back of this general's unit. They're outnumbered here, and they're broken. Perfect. I was a little worried about losing one of my generals there, but we didn't. Now we just have a couple of soldiers getting run down by dogs now. And even if they make it off the edge of the battlefield, these dogs will keep chasing them forever. They never give up. So, yeah, not looking good for you guys. Oh, got one of them. And the other 2, they're going to follow them off into the sunset. So they're going to have a bad day. Go ahead and end this battle. Went fairly well. We took some casualties. We lost a lot of handlers, which I wasn't hoping to do. So we'll have to get them repaired up. But we got rid of that rebel army. It was always going to be a little bit difficult because they had a rebel general. And we got Decorated Hero for Manius Julius, 20% discount on unit training costs. That's a really good retinue. And trade increase, good commander for Manius Julius, +2 command. Good for him. Let's go ahead and get him into a city that can retrain war dogs. So we'll send him up to Patavium. And man, we have a lot of armies moving around right now. But yeah, we will repair the war dogs in Patavium, build some more war dogs, get them spread out between these cities once again. You see the value of war dogs. They're not that good of a unit, but strategically they're very useful, especially when you're fighting against larger armies. Those couple of units of war dogs totally carried the defense of northern Italy in the last couple of turns, and they have an upkeep of like 50 per turn. So probably the cheapest way that you can defend any area where you don't really want to commit too many troops. And with that victory, I think that's an excellent place to end this part. Thank you so much for watching once again. I love this campaign. I'm having a really good time. I hope you guys are too. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.